Ag Bioscience, the #1 ag tech podcast globally, is now available on video. Hear from leaders and innovators across food, animal health, plant science, ag tech, and agriculture. Mondays at 6 a.m. on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're there, subscribe and leave us a review. It's the Ag Bioscience Podcast with Agronovis Indiana. Get more information at agronovisindiana.com.
The internet changed how we work. AI is changing what work gets done. A bank cut loan processing from days to hours. A student built an AI scheduler, improving on-time delivery from under 70% to over 90%. Most teams know AI matters, but aren't sure where to start. InAI is Indiana's statewide AI adoption effort, built with industry, academia, and community partners, helping you move from understanding to action. Visit inaiready.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. The Indianapolis City-County Council on Monday voted to significantly increase taxes on vehicle registration fees, which have been stagnant for 34 years, in a move that proponents say is necessary to mend the city's streets and provide access to additional state road funds in upcoming years. The measure passed 14-10, with all 6 Republicans on the council voting in opposition. Democrats who voted in favor of Proposal 192 presented the tax hike, in which drivers of passenger vehicles would see an average annual increase from about $20 to a flat fee of $100 as the only option. Currently, Indianapolis faces an annual infrastructure spending deficit of $635 million to $1 billion. Plant Engineering Services, an engineering firm in Fort Wayne, is under new ownership. Pennsylvania-based Advanced Industrial Services has acquired the Indiana company in a deal valued at $3.5 million. AIS said Plant Engineering will continue to operate with its existing team at its Fort Wayne facility. Michigan-based DexKo Global, the parent of Elkhart-based Dexter, has named Eric McGinnis as its new CEO. McGinnis most recently served as corporate officer and president of climate solutions at Modine Manufacturing Company in Racine, Wisconsin. His predecessor, Fred Bentley, will transition to chairman of the board. Bentley is a founding leader of the company and has served as CEO for more than a decade. DexKo said the leadership change is part of the company's long-term succession plan. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Indiana's Planned Parenthood affiliate remains cut off from state Medicaid funding even with the expiration of a federal ban on such payments to abortion providers for any healthcare services.
The nationwide funding ban that Republicans included in last year's Big Beautiful Law expired July 4th. That leaves states to determine whether Planned Parenthood can receive payment from the program for low-income individuals for non-abortion care. Indiana officials, however, are seeking federal court approval to enforce a 2011 state law that prohibits any state funding to abortion-providing organizations. Federal courts blocked that law from taking effect, and Planned Parenthood continued receiving Indiana Medicaid payments for more than a decade before the federal ban was imposed last summer. But recent court filings say Planned Parenthood has agreed to remain suspended from Indiana's Medicaid program while awaiting a decision from the Chicago-based 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. Jennifer Allen, CEO of Planned Parenthood Alliance Advocates, denounced the state's court action, saying Indiana is doing all it can to block patients from care. U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Walton Pratt said in a ruling last week that she was inclined to grant that state's request to throw out her 2013 order blocking the Indiana funding ban, but held off as the case was pending with the appeals court in Chicago. Attorneys for both sides have filed legal arguments with the appeals court, which as of Monday has not issued any rulings or set a date for hearing oral arguments. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A former dean of Butler University's Arts College has made a $1.1 million estate commitment to the school. Ronald Caltabiano said he hopes his gift will fuel the entrepreneurial spirit he found prevalent throughout campus when he served as Dean of the Jordan College of the Arts from 2011 to 2016. The gift will create a discretionary endowed fund for the school to support innovative and experiential arts initiatives. The WNBA at 30 is the subject of this week's Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.